Good Wednesday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 FM weather. A chance of a shower thunderstorm this afternoon, partly sunny skies near 80 and light west winds. Clearing skies tonight. It'll be a slow process. Overnight temperature 55 to 60. Mostly sunny Thursday, the high 75 to 80, northwest wind at 10. And the sun will be out, temperatures around 80 for Friday, and it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. Educate, entertain, and empower. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Rubber bullets have been fired at demonstrators in Hong Kong with chaotic scenes in the city. One person's died from Ebola in western Uganda, with 2 further cases also confirmed. The French Prime Minister set out his government's priorities for the 3 years remaining of Emmanuel Macron's term as president, and former UK Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has launched his bid to be Conservative leader and Prime Minister.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday to you. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kabila Jones, and my special guest today is Mr. Charleston Girley, MBA, which is a Master's in Business Administration.
Master's in Business Administration.
All right. And so I am so excited to have you here with me today. It's been, about a year since you've been here?
It's been
a little over a year.
A little over a year.
Yes. And so when you were here the last time, you were talking about your book, The Black Accountant. And so since then, it just seemed like you have picked up so much momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So just to recap real quick for those who may have missed it or who may have been under a rock this past year or whatever, let's recap bits and pieces of the story so that we can lead into what you're doing now, and so people can understand why, you're just so amazing.
So I would say a year ago, that's when I first published my book, The Black Accountant. And it was really a hard time for me. I went through, I guess I want to say, a series of depression.
Okay.
And so that book was really my outlet as far as like getting my emotions out, expressing my feelings. And that's basically how the book came about. And it just discussed different things that I've been through. I had a lung collapse. I was a walk-on to the football team. I have a twin brother who was handicapped, so it talked about that. It talked about just losing myself, and then an experience of me finding God and who God was to me. And so that's basically the recap of the book, and that's basically what it all entailed. And it's still available on Amazon, the Black Accountant.
Okay. And what I take from your story is strength, resilience, dedication, determination. Against all odds, you could have chosen to let whatever situation come upon you just make you say, I give up, I quit, I'm not. We know in society, and this is, again, not to make it this a racial thing. However, in this society, we know that it's extra hard for African American men especially, to rise above certain situations and circumstances. You chose to be that phoenix rising and just shed off all that negativity, shed off all of the adversity that came your way, and still rise above and be the man you are today and becoming. And so with that, you've chosen to not only just be successful for yourself, you've chosen to give back to your community, and not just, your hometown. You have been traveling all over. And right here in Jonesboro, you've been doing some public speaking and philanthropy work. So let's dive into the public speaking aspect first. I do remember a few events you attended. There was one hosted by First Baptist Church that was centered and geared towards just men. And so tell us about that experience, talking to those young men about your experience.
So I was contacted by Adrian, who works at Arkansas State University, in regards to that event. And basically it was an opportunity for me to get in front of young African American males and just kind of tell them my story as well as encourage them. And really public speaking kind of started from my book. So I kind of started out just going to different events, explaining my book, and then that's how my public speaking career kind of got started. And so when he presented me with this opportunity, one of the things that I found is that as young African American males, we rarely have people that we can hear from or people that we can turn to as far as males. And so I felt that it was a real important need to get in front of these young males and just give them somebody that they can see in person that has been through similar things that they've been through, but has come out on a different side. And that's kind of the main purpose as to why I wanted to be a part of that, talk to them, encourage them, and just feel their questions, because it's a discrepancy between young males and then older males. You rarely find that middle ground with middle-aged men, and that's kind of the gap that is void. And so to be able to fill that gap and give them a middle ground to kind of meet it, I felt the need to really put myself in that position.
Okay, and I feel that way because I'm in my 40s. And even though I love working with teenagers, I still feel that while they may appreciate some of the wisdom I have to offer, again, there's still that gap. And so people that are in your age range can really meet that need of them, that more immediate need. They feel like, okay, you really get it because you're not that far removed from where I am. And with our young men, I can't stress enough how much our young men, and this goes to all races, ethnicities in our community, in our society, men need other men to grab them, mold them, shape them, to nurture and mentor them in every way possible.
Definitely.
And so I would love to see more and more young men like yourself step up and take on the mantle of, let's empower, let's inspire, let's educate our young men in this community. And you are doing just that. And you have a few partners, helping you along the way. But I'm so happy that you are becoming the man you are. And I just see you all over the place. I know it seems like I'm a stalker. I'm a fan of yours. But you're just doing so many amazing things. And so also, let's talk about, you recently went back to your high school, and you were chosen to speak. Was it a special award?
It was an athletic awards banquet.
Okay.
And so my dad, he's on the board down there in Pine Bluff, and it's for Dollarway School District, and they were actually looking for a speaker, and just so happened he knows a speaker, which is his son, and so he recommended me. And being that it was my alumni, I definitely felt entitled to be there and be the spokesman for them. And so it was an athletic banquet honoring all athletes and all their different sports. And so I got the opportunity to go down there and just kind of speak in my old high school, and once again just encouraging them. They are in a position where a lot of them are getting ready to go to college, so just giving them just my experiences and just giving them some tips to kind of help them continue to transition on and just go forward. And so it was really a great experience just being around family and friends, my hometown. So I really enjoyed that experience. And
I'm sure for those that, there may be some that remember you, maybe they were in elementary when you were in school, or, there were people that were in school right when you left that maybe still living in that area that see the wonderful work that you're doing. And so maybe, hopefully, they are inspired to carry on that legacy and create the same kind of energy for those that are still living there. Create the same kind of energy with those that are coming up behind them. I hope that everything that you're doing is inspiring the next person to say, okay, I'm only one person. However, I can do X, Y, Z. So I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
I think that's the biggest thing that I take away from it. Is just that you never get too high to where you can't give back. It doesn't take much to give back. It doesn't take much to speak life into an individual. And then just me being from Pine Bluff, I know exactly, what goes on down there. So to be able to give back in a positive way, that's my home, and that's a place that I'll never forget about. So, they hold a special place in my heart down there. So that's anything awesome that I can ever do to help people in Pine Bluff or whatever, that's what I'm aimed to do.
All right. And then another event you spoke at. You spoke at someone's at a graduation.
Yes.
So you were like the keynote speaker.
I was the keynote speaker for a commencement in Dallas, Texas. It was a charter school that was started in 1998 by two African American women, and it's called Universal Academy. And so I got the opportunity to speak there and deliver the commencement speech for them.
Is amazing. So first tell us what it was like to get the call to say, can you speak at this graduation? And then for it to be a majority African American school, like what was that like to, many times people are seeking opportunities, but if you sit back and do the work and just be humble, the opportunity will find you.
Yeah.
And so this found you.
It did. It was weird and it was strange because most of my speaking engagements, they have just been local. They've been here in Jonesboro and then back home in Pine Bluff. And so when I got the opportunity to speak in Dallas, it was kind of like just a big shock, like, wow, like, okay, now I really got to get it together. And so, but it was a humbling experience. And the other thing too, just to be able to go down there and be pretty much the last prominent voice that these kids would hear before embarking on a new journey, that was definitely an experience for me. And I won't lie, this was my first time being in front of a huge crowd, so I definitely got nervous. But
you play football in front of a huge crowd.
But I definitely feel like part of public speaking is my calling, because one of the things is anytime I have a different speaking engagement, I always write a new speech.
Okay.
And people, some of my friends, they always ask, well, why don't you use the same speech? And I tell them that's just not something that I do. I never use things twice. But to be able to come up with a different speech every time, to a normal person, that's pretty difficult. But the reason I feel it's a part of my passion and my gift is because it just happens. And I feel that God just places a specific message in my mind to deliver to whoever it is that I'm talking to, and the aftermath is that it reaches whoever it needs to reach. And so even though I'm nervous in those moments, I'm comforted by knowing that this is my passion. This is something that, I was kind of born to do, so it helps.
All right, I want to give some shout outs. I don't want the people to think we're ignoring them. That's on our Facebook feed. I want to say good morning to Kendra Thomas. She says, yes, friend the goat. Ms. Dr. Karen, McDaniel Charleston, very proud of you. Joanne Hafner Killing, doing great. And good morning to Gerard Lockhart and to everyone else out there that's listening and watching. Please share this video. Please invite this young man to your engagements to speak to other young men. He is wonderful. Yes, I'm a little biased, but anyway, he's wonderful. All right, so and I want to touch back on, you mentioned, you write a different speech for each event. I think the audience deserves something unique that's specific for them. Maybe there may be parts of other speeches you may can pull from. However, no one wants a reheated speech all the time.
Nobody wants a duplicate. Nobody wants something left over. Everybody wants something new, something fresh. And so that's why I say I feel like it's a part of my gift just to be able to deliver something new every single time. And, I'm proud of the speeches that I give because I definitely feel it's a message within those speeches, and it has helped a lot of people. So I definitely feel as much as they are inspired, I'm inspired as well.
That's awesome. So can you tell us maybe what do you have? I know your schedule's probably booked and busy. So what do you have coming up? Anything you could share with us today?
Well, I would probably say the next speaking engagement that I do have is just with the Arkansas State football team.
Okay.
So that'll be later in June.
Okay.
And I'll just go speak to them and just kind of encourage them as far as like with a football career, and then just give them just tips as far as majors and job searches and things like that post-college. Okay. So that's another thing that's rarely talked about, just post-college or recent graduates. So just giving them expertise on those different topics. That's kind of what I'll be speaking to them about.
That's amazing.
And it's my old football team, so.
All right, go A-State, Red Wolves. All right, transitioning into that topic, then, do you see yourself doing maybe more or adding a piece into your playbook? Speaking specifically to football teams, maybe high school, elementary, just doing pop-up, maybe not pop-up visits, but doing some, I hate to call it seminars, but talks, engagement with these young players, and also sharing your story, but also opening their eyes to the opportunities and possibilities that are available outside of football. So another one thing we talked about, I think I talked about this with you and another guy that used to play football, Jabari McClellan. Some people feel that sports is all there is. You know, some people, and I'm not knocking anyone who can get those scholarships and then go on to the NFL and the other pro arenas. However, we want to also help change the mindset of our kids that you don't have to only do this. So do you feel that you would add those pieces into your discussions?
Definitely, as time comes, as opportunity presents themselves, I definitely would not hesitate to expand on the matter. For me, definitely football was a beginning platform to get me started, but it's not something that I use as far as my end goal. And so I would just tell any athlete to just use it as you go.
Okay.
Basically, you know, if you're on this platform right now, enjoy it, but also look in the future to see what you can do outside of football, to see the different networks or the people that you can come in contact with, so that when your career does end, whenever that is, you're set up afterwards to continue to pursue life, continue to pursue your dreams and goals. And so that's what I would just tell any listener that's playing a sport right now. Just look at the end goal.
All right. And I find, even though I am not the most athletically inclined, I'm not a sports person at all. However, I have run across a few, they're not really podcasts. You know, YouTube is the new whatever. There are some ex-football players that they still are engaged in some way, like mentoring, and they have these different motivational videos, and some have even produced music. And when I found myself needing a little pep talk, you know, a little motivation, I put on some of their music. I've shared a few with you. Yeah. People who know me would be like, "Oh, Billy, you listen to that?" Yes. Anyway, but so do you see yourself branching out though, even into that arena, as far as podcast, YouTube, or another book?
So I don't know, I'm young, but I've only found out about podcasts within the last month. So I just started listening and exploring podcasts. It's something that I've considered, but at the same time, I'm really big on things that come easy.
Okay.
I feel like things that come easy to me are things that I'm naturally born to do or should consider doing. And so I'm kind of playing around with it, but it's definitely something that I've considered. And then as far as a second book, which a lot of people have asked me about a second book, there are thoughts, but it's hard to go in a specific direction right now. And so, not to say that it would just take certain events, but it would just take something, okay, hey, this is the clear direction in which you should write your next book. And so, until that happens, I always have curiosity as far as the second book. But right now, it's hard to say if there will be a definite second book. So, I'm still proud of the first book.
Yes, sir. It is doing really well, and you could do so much, you know, with it. I've seen people take, you know, one book and turn into programs and events and just really expand it and make it into a full brand. So I'm not trying to push you, but, you know, just throwing it out there.
Definitely.
But I hope you're taking notes and keeping very detailed accounts of everything that you're doing along the way. So when that next book comes around, you know.
And then, too, I'm still exploring this book. So one of the things after I wrote it and published it, obviously doing sales with the book, but it became a point to where I was actually building relationships with people who read the book, and I would be just in different places. I remember one time I was in St. Louis, and I had met an individual who bought my book, and because the book is a testimonial for me that discusses a lot of topics that a lot of people just do not talk about in the open, when I run into these readers, it's a very intense, deep dialogue of them just explaining how the book has really helped them and helped them through different trials and different things. So just kind of experiencing the aftermath of the book, that's kind of what I'm really doing right now, and I'm really proud of that, to know that it's not just here in Arkansas, but it's in several locations across the United States.
That's amazing. We're going to come up on a break here in about another minute or so, and I don't want to get too deep into another topic, but I definitely want to bring into the conversation, your brother. You talked about in your book, your relationship with him and some of the challenges and just the mindset you had to develop to interact with him, because he has some challenges. Mm-hmm. And so when we come back, I want to tie into, I know you're doing a lot of public speaking in one arena. Would you see yourself, or would you even entertain the idea of speaking to people that also have siblings or family members that have certain issues, and just trying to help them navigate that whole world, So I want to get into that more when we come back. And then definitely when we come back, we'll talk about your scholarship program and the qualifications and the recipients so far and all of that. And, even though we're non-commercial, we do want to mention, you have a clothing line. And so we can't tell you too much about it, but you just have to go check him out. But I do want to talk about the message of the clothing line, so we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we come back, because we're going to hit a break. I want to say good morning to Miss LaDon Williams. She says, hey, Charleston. Proud of you and your endeavor. So if you have any questions or comments for Mr. Charleston, please drop them in our Facebook Live feed or give us a call right here in the studio, 870-277-1080. We would love to hear from you. If you have encountered Mr. Charleston at any event and would love to share your experience, your feedback, please do so. We welcome it. But please, first we're going to go to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
How can you and your kids achieve greatness? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told us what greatness is all about. He said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve. One of our jobs as parents is to talk to our kids about the significance of serving others and show them how to do it. Here are 5 places you and your kids can serve others. First, serve in your home. You don't have to look any further than the 4 walls of your home to serve others. Doing chores together around the house, like washing dishes, vacuuming, and taking the garbage out, will teach your child how to serve. For the rest of the 5 places you and your kids can serve others, check out my blog at FamilyMinute.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK 102.5 FM will host our 2nd annual Juneteenth celebration Saturday, June 15th, starting at 10 a.m. Parker Park Community Center, 1506 North Church Street in Jonesboro. This year's theme is Fulfilling the Dreams of Our Ancestors. There will be speakers providing educational information, our sweet potato pie contest, barbecue cook-off to see who's the best on the grill, head wrap competition, and line dance-off. Prizes will be awarded for each competition. There also will be bounce houses and games for the whole family to enjoy. Special Juneteenth t-shirts are also available for sale. We would love for the community as a whole to be a part of this celebration. If you would like to be a part of our Juneteenth celebration or enter any of our Juneteenth contests, visit our website, klekfm.org, or call us at 870 277-1080.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
The Office of Diversity and Community Engagement at Arkansas State University, under the leadership of Dr. Maurice Gibson, is a proud supporter of KLEK and is dedicated to finding innovative ways to advance their mission of creating a diverse and inclusive environment, conducive to educating, enhancing, and enriching lives, uplifting various and diverse groups on the A-State campus, and striving to maintain Arkansas State University a place that is inclusive to all individuals regardless of origin, color, religion, socioeconomic status, or sexual orientation. More information about the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement is available at www.astate.edu/diversity and 870-972-3081.
The Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was established on June 28, 1997 by 13 dynamic women who accepted the challenge of chartering the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter. Today, the chapter continues to impact the Jonesboro community by sponsoring programs such as the Sonia D. Williams Scholarship Breakfast, Community Back to School Bash, Delta Academy, Voter Registration Drive, and Autism Awareness. Our focus correlates with the national theme, Joy in Our Sisterhood, Power in Our Voice, and Service in Our Hearts. Our chapter supports Delta's 5-point programmatic thrust: economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. More information about the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is available at www.jonesboroalumnidst.org or via email jonesboroalumni@live.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Cordelia Jones, and my special guest is Mr. Charleston Girley. He lives right here in Jonesboro. He's an accountant, and he has a book called The Black Accountant. He has to tell you where it's available. We're non-commercial, so we'll be careful about crossing those lines, but definitely check him out. All right, I want to say good morning to Miss Rebecca Laura Evans. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we're going to get right back into our discussion. As mentioned, before we went to break, I want to talk about would you consider talking to individuals, groups, families, whoever, that have siblings, family members that have certain... Help me out. I hate to use the word disabilities. Okay. Because you talk a lot about your brother in your book, and you have, people may not know, you have a twin. Yes. And you spend a lot of time with him, and you had to learn how to engage with him because of some of the challenges he faced. And so you wanted to make sure that he knew he was loved and accepted. And even now I see some of your pictures and videos and how you all are hanging out when you go home, and you can see the joy on his face knowing that he knows that you accept him for who he is no matter what he's dealing with. And so there may be others that are dealing with similar situations that simply don't know how to navigate that world. So would you consider, talking to people?
I definitely would. So I feel that everybody has a different purpose or something that they work towards as far as just giving back. You have some people that give back to Children's Hospital. They get back to different organizations, cancer, different things like that. But as far as my life, it's centered and catered around children with disabilities because I have a direct contact with somebody who experiences a disability. So definitely, and that's a lot of the things that I've been thinking about. So last year, around Christmas time, I donated some shirts to his disability program at Goodwill. It was shirts that said God took his time when he made me. and basically just encouraging children with disabilities to know that they are loved and that there are no mistakes in what God, did for them, but it's actually a blessing. And so more work with disabilities is definitely something that I would be interested in. One event that really changed my life, we were about 7 or 8 years old, and we went to this camp. It was called Camp Aldersgate, and it's basically a week-long camp for children with disabilities. And at the time, it was definitely new as well as scary for me because I was only 7 or 8. But being exposed to that and being exposed to children with disabilities and seeing that they can do anything that a normal person could do really changed my outlook as well as my aspect on them. And so more work will definitely be done with them, especially encouraging parents and just their supervisors to continue to allow them to be themselves, give them opportunities to do things that normal people would do.
Yes.
And just try not to treat them just extremely different, because in a sense they are just like normal people, and in a bigger sense they are happier than a lot of people, which a lot of people don't even pay attention to. So
yes, and what I love about you is you don't just throw money at a situation, at a charity, at a organization. You actually get hands-on involvement. You are hands-on with whatever you're doing, and I think that speaks volumes. We know that there's a lot of philanthropists out there, people who write big checks to organizations, but sometimes they are very detached from the actual cause that they are supporting. You, on the other hand, are taking a different approach. And I'm not saying there are not others out there like you. You're the one I know personally. You are more hands-on, even with the scholarship, which we'll definitely get into, the football scholarship. You're hands-on. You get to know people. You get to know the cause that you're advocating for. I think that's really wonderful, and I hope that people that are watching this, that know you, that are listening out there, will take a page from your book and say, okay, it's one thing to throw a check at, a place, but get to know what they're all about. Get to know their mission statement. Get to know the people who work for that organization. Get to know the clients that they serve. And so I think that's really wonderful. All right. And so with that, you do a football scholarship. And I know you talked a lot about, how you were a walk-on and some of those challenges you faced, because sometimes you had to sit the bench, and it wasn't just, okay, I'm a good player and I'm on the field. No, you had to work your way up.
That was definitely a very different as well as difficult experience for me. Just coming from high school, I had my own thing going, so to come to college and basically have to take a back seat, it was really a big pride check for me. I have a lot of pride. But just going through that experience, it taught me that you can really go through anything. As long as you put your mind to it, you can come out in a different way. But the reason behind the scholarship is that I did understand the financial struggle from being a walk-on, where you're trying to pursue classes, but at the same time, you're trying to be a part of a football team, and the expenses are just not always there. And so to just provide an extra scholarship for a hard-working individual, that's definitely something that me, as well as my colleague, Booker Mays, really wanted to do. And so that was the football scholarship. And that basically was the groundwork into me understanding how a scholarship worked, so that I can transition into my most recent scholarship that I'm honestly the biggest proud of, which is the Impact Scholarship at my old high school, Galloway. And that scholarship is targeted towards individuals that come from low-income families that they may not have the required GPA for a lot of scholarships, and it's to target them to give them an opportunity and a chance to pursue college. And the reason that even came about is just me thinking back on my experience in high school. I had a lot of friends that I grew up with, and just they had the desire to pursue more, but as children, a lot of us, you don't get the opportunity to select your environment. And so a lot of them are products of their environment, but that doesn't mean you have to stay in that environment. And so I wanted to create something to just give individuals who still aspire but may not necessarily have the grades an opportunity to pursue something and be great within the realms that they have. And so that was my most recent scholarship.
And with the scholarships, when you get the applications, do you try to get to know the individuals on a personal level? First of all, do they know they've been, do they apply individually or are they referred?
So the way I went about it, I set requirements. I think the GPA was a 2.75 to a 2.5. Somewhere in that range, because most scholarships you have to have a 3.0. So I didn't put that on the requirement. But basically, anybody could fill out the scholarship, and what they had to do was they filled out the application, and then they would send me an essay. And so I would read each essay individually, and I would spend time on it. And this was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, because you feel the pain in their essays, you feel the heartfelt, responses. And so I think I read the first one and I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. It was really difficult. I had several people just from my neighborhood, so that just made it even more difficult. And you just read it just about from coming from single parent homes just to the things that they experience within the neighborhood, outside of school, and just their willingness to get out. It really made it really difficult. But I just prayed over the individual that I selected, and I felt good about it. And I was really proud just to be able to present her with the scholarship, and she's going to go on to college and pursue hair, and she wants to open up her own beautician school. So just giving individuals hope and letting them know that there's still people out here that's wanting the best for them, right from the neighborhoods that they're from.
That's amazing. Now, because there is such a need, for scholarships for students who don't meet some of those minor requirements on major scholarships, do you hope that more people in the community will step up and say, I want to join you in your efforts. I want to help create a foundation, be a silent partner, what do you call it? Investor into your, into what you have going on, venture capitalist, what I'm trying to say. Do you hope that this sparks something in people to say, let's do more, let's make this bigger so that we can help as many students as possible?
My message towards that, it would just be that it doesn't necessarily have to be an investor towards my cause, but just to ask yourself, what more can you do? It doesn't have to be financial. It could be just spending time with the student, just checking on them throughout the semester. It could be just supporting in just different areas. So would I appreciate the support? Yes, but I'm gonna do my thing regardless. But I would just say for other individuals, it doesn't have to be just financial. It could be inspirational, it could be motivational, just spending time with students. Whatever it is that you feel in your heart you could do is definitely more than enough.
Okay. Now I want to go back and talk about, I saw the video, and I know that it's been a while, but when you gave the scholarship to the college, to the A-State student, tell us, what that experience was like. Like, the video was very theatrical in a way of, it had a build up, you know, you getting out of the car, you walking into the building with a check, and you addressing the team. And did the person know who they were when you walked in?
So the person, they did not know. It was basically spare of the moment, and we didn't even know who we were presenting to.
Oh, okay.
So we had a discussion right before, and that's when we found out who we would be giving it to. But that entire experience was just really phenomenal. So one of the things with a walk-on, you never get a signing day. So signing day is when you officially sign and you receive your scholarship. So if you're a walk-on, that's something you don't experience. So we wanted to make it where it's special for this particular winner to replace that event. And so that's where you see kind of the build-up of us walking in and kind of basically surprising them and saying, hey, here you go for all of your hard work, all of your service. And that's basically how that came about.
Oh my gosh,
it was fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and we definitely appreciate Blake Anderson just for giving me and Booker the opportunity to do that, and we'll definitely be looking forward to doing it again this fall.
And I have to point out, and I don't know if you keep this, I'm going to have to put it out there. You fund all this on your own. You work hard and you save or whatever you do, and you do this out of your own pocket, out of the kindness of your heart. That's what I call love for humanity, love for the community, love to see, love for people, and just to see them rise above and have the opportunities they might not otherwise be afforded.
I mean, you could definitely do whatever it is that your heart is set out to do. And just one of the biggest scriptures that I just really live by is, what profits a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? So could I use different monetary things to go do other things? I could, but then it would just be me just experiencing those different things when I have an opportunity to allow other people to experience. And that's just something that I'm really big on, because at one point in time I didn't have it, and I would look up to people who had it, and I would be like, I wish. And so to be in a position to give back, it just reminds me of the little boy that I once was, looking up to individuals. And so that just gives me more purpose to help out in any way that I can, and just, do as much as I can while I'm here on earth.
All right. As we know, being an athlete requires a lot of physical training, and you are big on physical training now. And during your talks with, even the younger football players, just say 7th, 8th grade, do you talk about how being physically active, the training aspect of it, how it's not just, conditioning your body, but it's conditioning your mind, your mentality?
Definitely. Me being a post-athlete, I still have the desire to work out and be in physical shape. But one of the biggest journeys that I've been on lately is training my mind. So for the people who follow me on some of my social media platforms, they see that I wake up pretty much every day at 4:15.
You up before the chickens get up.
and I'll go work out at 4:30 in the mornings. And the reason being is because, number one, I could work out in the evenings, but that's not the purpose of why I do it. The purpose of why I wake up so early is to train my mind mentally to understand that, okay, this is not something that I really like doing, but life is going to throw things that I'm not going to like. So if I can get used to being uncomfortable, then when situations in life appear, I can adapt to them. And so that's one of the biggest things that I've been on lately, is just training my mind mentally and working that out.
That's awesome. So I hope that everyone that follows you are really paying attention to these little things that may seem minute, but they're big. They speak a louder message than what they may seem to portray. And so I really hope that, more young men follow in your footsteps. Well, I don't say follow your... Consider, and I say this, follow your footsteps, but at the same time trying to carve out their own path. Look at what you have done, try to follow, and then decide, how can I take it further, or what can I do how can I adapt it to my life?
Definitely your own life is just a big pot, and it's almost like you're making dinner. And I wouldn't suggest taking my entire recipe, but what I would suggest is taking little bits here. Look at somebody else that's doing something successful, take little bits there and create your own recipe. That way you're creating your own success. Because let's say you look at every single thing that I do, the outcome will not necessarily be the same, because this is a recipe that me and God have worked on for my life. So I would just tell a individual that's listening to just definitely listen to God, and then just take tidbits from different people and just create your own recipe. And that way you'll create your own success, you'll create your own happiness, and you'll just be living your own life.
All right, now you're speaking my language. I'm not the best cook, but I can do a little something, and, taking that metaphor, that, description, and applying it to our life. There's a lot of things that our ancestors, when I say ancestors, even going back as far as our great grandparents, great, or even our grandparents, there are things they did we may not do exactly, but they built a foundation for us to continue to build on. And so I hope that as we transition through each stage of our life, we can look back on that foundation and say, okay, I don't want to tear it down completely, but let me see how I can build on it to expand it, improve, and again, apply it to my own personal life.
Definitely. You only get one life, and in that one life, you have to make everything count. You have to make everything meaningful. You definitely will have setbacks. You'll have down periods, but use those as momentum to experience the joys of life, experience the good things of life. And so that's definitely my message on that.
All right. Well, I am just so thrilled to have you here, and I hope that I can keep in touch and stay on track with you. You know, we still have more to come in the interview, but just want to throw that out there. Again, we're speaking with Mr. Charleston Girley, who is an accountant here in Jonesboro. So if you want to know more about that aspect of what he does, you have to reach out to him as well. So do you manage people's money? Like, tell us about accounting for those who may not know.
So right now I work for a great company, Nitrogen Solutions. It's here in Jonesboro.
Okay.
You gave a shout out to my boss, Joanne. Hey, Joanne.
Okay.
But as far as accounting, it's different fields that you can go into. You have public accounting, you have private accounting, and I do more so private accounting with the company that I work for. But it's just so many, it's a broad range. You can do just different things, but I really enjoy it. It's something that I really like numbers. So
okay, let's get into that.
Numbers come easy to me.
We have like a minute and a half left in this segment. You talk a lot about you've talked about you did not like math at all before you really got into it, and so you're like accounting. So get into that a little bit, and then we'll pick up when we come back from break.
So when I first came to college, I was originally majoring in sports management.
Okay.
But then I looked on Forbes to see the top careers because I wanted to get paid, and sports management was definitely not at the top. So I seen that accounting was, I think, number 2, and I don't know, I just preferred math over science and different things like that. So I said, hey, I'm gonna try it out. So started pursuing accounting. I don't know, it just became natural to me, became easy, and I just started pursuing it. It turned into a passion and a love that I have, especially like just with finances and money and different things like that. So I just grew a love for it, and it's something that I see myself doing just for a very long time.
That's awesome. And do you see yourself ever leaving Arkansas and maybe expanding on just who you are in your career? I know you're still fairly young.
I don't know. I really like where I'm at now.
Okay.
So, you know, if God see fits for something, I don't know, but I'm glad where I'm at now.
That's awesome. I'm sure your boss is happy to hear that too. All right, we're going to take another quick break. So everyone out there listening and watching, please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. You're in the market for a financial advisor, and you've been introduced to a truly impressive candidate. Is she perfectly qualified to help you manage your money, or the next Bernie Madoff? If you see these signs, keep a tight grip on your money and run. Bypass any financial advisor who promises unrealistic above-market rates of return. For example, if the S&P 500 is delivering 8% returns, be suspicious if she claims she can deliver 15%. Another red flag is saying or leading you to believe that an investment is guaranteed, risk-free, and can't result in a loss for you as an investor. There is no such thing as an investment in which you can't lose your money. Another red flag. Suggestions that an investment they recommend is too complex for you to understand and requires you to put all of your trust in her as a financial professional. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
On June 4th, 2019, the Craighead County chapter of the NAACP presented a proposal to the Jonesboro City Council Public Works Committee to rename Johnson Avenue in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The renaming would affect Johnson from Dan Avenue to the Jonesboro city limit near Farville Curve. If enacted, there will be a 2-year transition period where both names, Johnson and MLK, will be recognized. The proposal was referred to the entire Jonesboro City Council, which will take up the proposal at their next meeting, scheduled for Tuesday, June 18, 2019, at the Jonesboro City Council chambers. Those wishing to speak in support or opposition of the proposal should arrive at the meeting by 4 p.m. to ensure a seat, as capacity will quickly be reached.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life, such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Anointed Prolude, 1216 East Johnson Avenue, serves the Jonesboro community inspired by Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. They offer brake service, oil changes, tire plugs, basic tune-ups, wiper blade changes, bulb changes, and coolant system flushes. Open Monday, Thursday, and Friday 8 to 5, Tuesday and Wednesday 8 to 4, and Saturday 8 to 2. More information 870-520-5039.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to our last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with my special guest, Mr. Charleston, Girley. I have been so excited. I'm so happy. I know I bugged you to get you here, and I'm so excited that you finally found time in your schedule. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And I hope that this conversation sparks more conversations with others. And I hope people will start approaching you saying, okay, how can I help you? Or what can I do? Can you help me do whatever I would like to do in the community?
Definitely. I'm always open to just helping individuals, being a part of whatever. So definitely, if you see me, don't hesitate. I'm a friendly person, so It's all good.
All right, so and hope we see you more and more throughout the community, and not just Jonesboro. I want to see you all over sharing your wisdom and knowledge with so many other young people.
I'm definitely looking forward to, like I said, I'm open to any and all opportunities. So if there's somebody out there that's listening from a different state, I have no problem traveling. I like traveling, so just definitely contact me on Facebook or Instagram, and we can definitely set something up.
Well, go ahead and tell people what those handles are so they'll know how to reach you.
So on Facebook, my account is Charleston Girley MBA.
Okay.
So you can find me on there, and then on Instagram is theaccountant_5.
Okay.
And you can find me on Instagram. And so those two are the only two prominent social media platforms that I use. So
have you ever considered Twitter? Like Twitter is now becoming Twitter is a different it's a different aspect of Facebook. You know, Facebook people put so much out there. Twitter, you're limited to X amount of characters, so you have to be very precise and on point.
I have a Twitter account, but I don't necessarily use it. I just use it to go get a laugh or something.
Oh yeah, Twitter's kind of funny.
There's really no type of business parts of me on Twitter, but I'm definitely on LinkedIn as well. So Charleston Girley on LinkedIn. So those are the only really main platforms that I use.
All right. So again, if you would like to have Mr. Charleston come and speak to your group of men, are you open to talking to young ladies as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely open. There's, like I said, a variety of topics. You have post-college, you have pre-college, you have financial literacy. So there's a numerous of topics that's not limited to just a specific group. So definitely open to any and all groups.
All right. And then I'm going to still throw this out there, the sports, you know, because I know I keep going back to that. But again, both of us are from areas. I'm from Mariana, and it's a rural area in the Northeast, in the Delta. And again, circumstances can blind your mindset to what is possible. And so some people feel like they have to become a product of their circumstance, and they don't. And so hopefully, again, you know, you can inspire and empower those young people to say, okay, you don't have to be just this. You don't have to allow society and circumstances to dictate who you can be.
You definitely don't have to be. And just kind of one of the little quotes that I've come up with is that you may be a product of your environment, but you are not your environment. So basically, you can come from these backgrounds, environments, but that doesn't mean you have to carry that burden with you as you continue on through life. You know, you can always change your outlook on life. You can always still accomplish more. So it's all about what you want, what you desire for your life, and are you willing to go the extra mile to, you know, allow yourself to be blessed.
All right, so we have like a minute and a half. So any final words of encouragement for our listeners and viewers out there?
I would just definitely say just take time going through life. You don't have to rush anything. Whatever is for you, it's going to reveal itself to you. You don't have to be in a rush to try to figure out things. And then just focus on the things that you can control. Anything you can't control, don't worry stressing about it. And then just enjoy life. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna experience down times, but I've never seen a situation where it's storming consistently. You know, eventually the sun has to come out, and so that's how you have to look at your life, understanding that if it's sunny right now, something bad is gonna come. If it's bad right now, something good is gonna come, and you just have to waver the storms and just continue just living life, pursuing life, living your dreams, your goals, chasing love, chasing money. Just do whatever just makes you happy.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for all of that. Thank you so much for joining us here in the KLK studios. And thank you out there, listeners and viewers. We are your community radio station. We could not do what we do without you and your support. So thank you all for tuning in and watching. Don't forget, Juneteenth celebration coming up this Saturday, 10 a.m., Parker Park Community Center. This is a celebration of us, celebration of freedom. So come on out, join the celebration, fellowship, and get to know your neighbors in the community. So, and we thank you, Charleston, for joining us.
But I got to definitely get one last special shout out to my hometown, Pine Bluff. Love them down there, always home. And that's all I have.
All right, well, thank you all, and I hope you have a great and blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the